Hey, and welcome to NUFC Talk. Thank you for downloading, thank you for subscribing. We are a Newcastle United YouTube channel. We don't claim to know everything, but we love Newcastle and we love the beer. So here we are doing some podcasting with some beers. Sound
That's
good?
It.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite excited to do this one. This is the first time in about 3 weeks, about 4 weeks. I'm excited to do.
Yeah. So Newcastle are on the back of 3 losses now, and I think everybody went into absolute meltdown, which was way over the top. If you think the games that we lost, there was Everton, there was Chelsea, and there was Tottenham.
Yeah, bad at Tottenham. Everton, not our best performance, could have gone either way.
But if you saw that on paper before the season even started, you probably would have Chelsea away, Tottenham away. There's games where you would lose anyway. So
I never away. All away.
Everton, yeah, I know, but
you just said I had Everton in my top 6. so I agree.
Either the point I'm saying, I just think a lot of Newcastle fans overreacted just a little bit, like, oh my god, we've lost 3 in a row. Maybe it was just the press, but like, anyway, we lost 3 in a row. Come back to St James's Park Friday night in the Toon, and we get our 4th win in a row at St James's Park.
Yeah,
the stats almost has gone. It's a little bit under the radar, that hasn't it?
Since 2019 or 18, Benitez side, I think I read.
Yeah,
that's the last time we won 4 home games on the spin.
Okay,
pretty solid, really. We actually really needed to get back to St James, didn't we? We said that in the last pod, didn't we? We said that.
It's just like energises the team, doesn't it? Like when you see the players, how can fans go to St James's Park and get energised? And it's just I don't want to say it's like a magical place and sound a little bit cheesy, but when you watch other games, I'm like, it's not a patch on St James's Park at all.
Because it was 4 away games on the spin, wasn't it? Because of the rescheduled fixtures, so it was going to be tough, that, wasn't it?
So Wolves, it's a great. The game itself was very average, and I suppose for the neutral, they probably would not want to listen to a full podcast on this one game. But Wolves, coming into it, they had the best defensive record outside of the top 3 of obviously City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. So for Newcastle to go into that game, it was a challenge. Should we talk about the starting lineups before we get into the game? We guessed pretty much the whole team bar right back we got wrong. Where we had Mankey, we both agreed Mankey was starting. So Kraft started, and then in the middle,
he went with your siding with you, Glenn.
You went with Willock over Shelvey.
I said Willock over Shelvey.
Okay.
But I did also, the caveat that was I wouldn't have been upset if Shelvey started over Willock. The one I wanted, the 2 in midfield that had to start for me were Julian and Bruno. Yeah. So
and when we said last week, Bruno has to start. I agree with the way Howe made him work his way into the starting team. Plus, the Newcastle were on a winning streak at the time, so why would you change your winning formation?
And those 3 were instrumental.
Yeah, incredible.
And Shelvey, Joe and Joe.
Joe. Yeah, the first video was called the Joe and John Joe show or something. All jokes aside, I think Bruno has to start now. He'll be the first name on the team sheet to get embedded in, because that midfield's going to be built around him.
Yeah, like I've written the same thing. You can't drop him now. That's it. Like
undroppable.
Yeah, can't drop him now. Either he plays in the deeper role where Shelvey would play, and you play the 2, Willock and Joe in front of him, or you play him in the more combative, energetic role of further forward and play Shelvey, like as he did against Wolves. So getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but yeah, absolutely. I think now I think you're basically going to see him playing 90 minutes, or at least start on every game towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
I would imagine. And then
a couple of double game weeks where there might be a bit of rotation, or even if he plays 60 minutes to keep him for the next one.
Yeah, I think that'll be. He's got energy as well. Like later on, he's still getting runs forward. So, I think it's a really good result for Newcastle, and I think they were the better side. But I think it's also caveat of that is I don't want to be like Debbie Downer here, but I think Wolves were just like so really disappointing.
Debbie
Downer, like you're Darren Downer. I think like without Jimenez, without Neves, then Donko was ill as well in the warm up or something or early on. I think they missed them three, and they were a bit shite, weren't they? Wolves.
Yeah.
They were very deep and allowed Newcastle to basically dominate the game without really being creating all that much. But but I think all in all, it was a really good result, and I think the whole Bruno thing, he's so good, and he's so much better than what we've been used to seeing. He's so versatile. Loads of energy.
Because the first half he played deeper. But do you want to? Because we could spend the next 45 minutes talking Bruno. Should we go through the game?
Yeah, let's go through the game. Yeah.
Okay, so before we jump into the game, if you haven't already, please make sure you're pressing the subscribe button. Like this video, drop us a comment, let us know what your thoughts are. Give us a share. Send this video to some of your friends. Because we're really looking forward to growing the channel over the next couple of seasons. And we'd love to hear for your guys and girls your thoughts of anything we're talking about. We think we're talking shite. Let us know any points that you agree. You can catch us on Twitter. We're at NUFC Talk Pod. If you want to speak to me directly or speak to me directly, that'd be a bit weird. But if you want to get us on Twitter, it's Glenn with _NUFC.
Yanis NUFC. And then we're on TikTok as well. NUFC Talk Pod.
And Facebook
as well, yeah.
Facebook's just getting going as well. So yeah, come and give us some support or give us some grief.
Whatever.
Either way, it all helps the algorithm, whatever that is, and we get further out there. So yeah, let's dive into the game. I think the first big point of the game, which was unfortunate, was Fraser's hamstring.
Doubly unfortunate because I only brought him in this week for my dream team. Thinking
Did you?
I thought the double home game week we've got coming up for a dream team. I brought him in for that, and I was humming and hawing, and we're to bring Shah in, and keep Podence.
Since Shah's on free kicks now.
In Newcastle keeping clean sheets and he's starting. So, but I didn't. I brought Fraser in. In fact, my other player I brought in was Doherty, who's ruptured his ACL.
His ACL, is it?
His ACL, so he's done for the season. So all in all, poor transfer window, you'd say, from me. But yeah, that was quite disappointing. Surprised? Were you surprised, Miggy over Murphy?
Yeah.
Or do you think that's faith restored him, or faith given in Miggy because of the Chelsea performance? Because he was very good at Chelsea.
I don't know. I just think, like most Newcastle fans, like what you read online and what you from speaking to people, everybody wants Miggy to do well. He's just not quite that quality. He doesn't have the end product. Doesn't score enough goals.
Yeah,
his crossing's very average, and for a winger, it's quite an important skill. In the box, he seems quite calm. Like the one touches he can have, you put Bruno through.
And that little drag back. Yeah, that was lovely, that, by the way.
So
that's unlucky. That would be a nice goal, if that wasn't offside.
So straight away I thought, right, Fraser's going off. I would bring Murphy on, but for some reason I just thought Howe was going to go with Miggy, so it didn't surprise me. Look, Eddie Howe's done an incredible job, in how we trust. So me personally, I would have brought Murphy on, but I wasn't surprised he brought Miggy on.
I guess I was a little bit surprised because it's the first time he's ever really shown faith in Mickey above Murphy, because his hand was forced against Chelsea. Yeah. Because of the injuries, they both played there against Chelsea.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
So that was the first time I think he's shown faith in Miggy over. But then there's a whole thing. He was away on his international duty when Howe first took over, and Howe had a couple of weeks with
Murphy.
With Murphy, there being so and. Then he's coming back from South America. There's all the travel lag and all that kind of thing. So maybe it's just took a bit of time for him to really be confident enough to play him, I guess, or confident to see enough. But I was a little bit surprised. I wasn't overly disappointed. But I think it's a toss-up. I think Miggy offers you more defensively, and he offers you more, not in shape, because I think they both will press really well and they both grab really well, but Miggy offers you more in, like, he will get back in and help fullbacks out better than Murphy will. That kind of thing. You'll see him, like, tackling back a little bit more than Murphy will, but Murphy offers you more, I think, going forward. He gets more goals, gets more assists, better cross of the ball.
Or one scores one a season, one scores none.
Yeah. So, anyway, but it's a bit of a muchness point, but
I don't think either's going to play massive roles next season.
Yeah, 24 months' time, you'd think they'd both be not a huge amount, or at least Murphy might have a bit part role to play, but
maybe in 12 months, not 24. You'd hope not.
We'll get on to some of the transfer window stuff in a bit, but the offside goal would have been a really nice goal. Just Bruno in showing his sort of class. Didn't hit it, didn't try and whip it in, fed it into the box, and a nice little reverse pass, like lovely.
When he went in, I was so happy for Woodham. Like, finally, like, it could this be like the run he gets on now, because it's what, 3 or 4 games in Southampton now.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it was ruled off, it's just, as soon as you saw it, you knew it was coming. So,
but it was lovely, and even at the comps, that goal is indicative of how the level above Bruno is from anybody else. Like, I don't think any of that centre midfielder for Newcastle plays that ball into Miggy for a start. I certainly don't think Shelby runs off the ball and gets in the box beyond him.
I don't think Shelby runs.
Oh, that's harsh on Shelby.
No, he's got a role. He plays his role very well.
He does.
He's the club captain, so yeah, harsh comment. But
no, I agree.
He doesn't do them runs because of his athleticism and his role.
Yeah, he's not that sort of mobile type, but certainly I don't think anybody else. Maybe Will plays it and goes for the give and go, but then certainly even the presence of mind to lift the ball, it'll dink into Wood. So that would have been a nice goal, but obviously it wasn't to be. But he's shown his versatility. Bruno, everything he did was like absolute class.
Yeah. So I put a post on Twitter when it came to half time just to try and sum up what the thoughts were on that, and it was paraphrasing something along the lines of feel for Fraser, first half decent pressure but just lack quality in that final third.
Yeah.
And that's where, which again I know we're going to talk transfers in a little bit, especially a lot over the next few shows, is that's where we do lack that quality. We do lack Callum Wilson's presence in the box, and Wood has been tremendous. He's absolute workhorse, never stops running, which there's some points we'll bring up in the second half, but yeah, that's why I just thought the first half Fraser was gutted for, because he's been one of the most transformed players under Howe.
Yeah.
Probably we were the better team. We dominated the first half. Wolves didn't show much. It was just the final third where we lacked a little bit, which is almost a little bit of credit to Wolves because they are such a good defensive unit.
They're very deep, aren't they, Wolves, which I guess played it in Newcastle's hands and allowed Newcastle to have a lot of the ball. And but no, I agree. Second half, I think again it was more of the same. Really, I don't think really Wolves brought much to the party offensively. I don't remember Wolves really having a shot on goal until like the Dubravka save. Like,
so because I had this down as well. Wolves, they had a shot from distance out which went out on the bar. They had a Dubravka saved one to his bottom,
Silva.
To his bottom right. And there was a header somewhere there as well.
That was earlier on. So Silva's header earlier on, that was actually a decent chance. That I think that's Jimenez. That might be 1-1.
That Silva is he's not very good.
I had paid 34 million for him or 36 million. It's in the 30s. Oh yeah.
Where'd he come from again?
Somewhere in Portugal when Nuno was buying everyone in Portugal. So they paid 30. They paid 34, 36. It was definitely begin with a 3. Begin with a 3, definitely.
300,000.
No.
34,000.
No, it was 30 something mil, and they bought him not last season, the season before.
Is that how much he was?
It was meant to be, and he'd only played like 7-8 games, 7-8 like or something daft like that, like games for whatever side he was, like Lisbon or whatever it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be like a wonder kid, but I don't know if I can be a wonder kid when you've only played like a handful of games. But anyway, it seems to be a crazy amount of money for a player who's like no better than Hosselu. But then not much really else to say except the goal, really. I guess the pen.
Yeah, there's points I want to bring up on players, but if we go through the game first.
Timeline, you're skipping forward because there's nothing else really to talk about in the game, is there not? What?
Oh,
there was some good report. Craft, solid.
So we'll bring. Let's go through the timeline. We'll bring it back to some players. So yeah, the penalty. These are the penalties where he does tackle him, he does take him out. It is a penalty, but there's no way Chris Wood's catching that ball.
Nah, it's a post like 2000s penalty, this, isn't it? You don't get this in the 90s. Like,
now when we were growing up watching football, you lost control of the ball, that's not a penalty.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like if you're losing control, you're not catching the ball, you make sure you get caught by it.
Yeah, Chris Wood's got he's not even attempting the ball. He's just literally shifting the ball and getting that contact. Mm-hmm. It's one of those ones. He's won a penalty there.
Yeah.
But
because
it's a pen though, eh?
Hey, we'll take it.
It's still more pen.
We will take it based on some of the luck and decisions we've had of VAR and refs this year, especially with pens.
Yeah.
We're due one to roll our way.
Well, I don't even think we're even being due one there. If that was Wolves, I wouldn't have any complaints. You'd say, oh, he's never going to get the ball, but that's a pen. That's a pen all day long, and I don't think VAR's overturned it. I think if it wasn't given, VAR would have overturned it. I think it's a still more pen in this day and age. It's shite for how football is, but it's a pen. And then pressure. What do you think? You think it's going to miss? You just go.
Again, something else I put on Twitter when we give the penalty. My next thought was who's taking the penalty? And I thought, John Joe, would he take it?
Well, I thought Chris Wood, because I'm sure when there was a VAR pen debacle a couple of weeks back, he picked the ball straight up.
I don't know. In my head, it didn't jump to him being the penalty taker.
He took pens for Burnley as well, didn't he?
Sorry?
And he takes pens for Burnley and for New Zealand.
Yeah. And yeah, I thought it would be Shelvey and
Shah. Big Fabian.
Yeah, he took one in the Euros, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't have wood. So, but
free kick specialist these days, anyway.
Took his penalty really well, blasted it, and we'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Relief as well, a bit of relief in the celebration. Obviously joy, but a bit of generally.
That's his goal ratio has gone from 1 in 12 to 1 in 6 now. So
yeah,
he's definitely feeling, and especially scoring at home, St James's Park, getting that.
Yeah, being not just scoring, but also being the match winner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, effectivally, he's the match winner, isn't he? He won the pen. He makes the run. He wins the pen. Scores the pen.
Goal disallowed as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he is the match winner. He's the difference between the sides at the end, isn't he? So.
And I think he's winning some fans down in New Zealand as well.
I would imagine so. Yeah, and I think so. New Zealand have retweeted some of his stuff,
yeah.
Our Newcastle lot of retweeted some of their stuff when he's been playing internationally. That's it. But they're both playing black and white. That's all I'm saying, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Shame next week when he next season when he doesn't get a game but we'll go for it now. Let's take it to
players.
I suppose there's one which is on everyone's hot topic list at the moment. It's Maxi.
Oh, I can't believe it's I don't know, he gets so much flack
So I thought he was lively again. Lacked a little bit of end product. I don't know if he's trying too hard to get a goal. Because he put that post out a few weeks ago, didn't he, where it said, do you forget what I've done, or the performances will speak for itself. And it's almost like he's just trying to do too much. There was a few times he could have passed it. Two examples was, I think it was already 1-0 at this point, and Max had gone round to the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And drilled it back across for Chris Wood. And it was almost like, is that a shot? Was he aiming for the far post?
He's smashing it across goal, and I reckon if Chris Wood
is on a motorbike, he catches it. Nah. But Maxi just drills it so hard.
That's what you've got to do. He's got to get it in between defenders and across the goalkeeper. I think he's the right thing. I think Chris Wood's got it. He should be on the end of that. I think that's an issue. If he does that 9 times out of 10, I think you expect and get goals from your strike. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think there's an issue with that.
I think this has come down to four.
Is Mane tapping that in the back sticker for Salah does that, or Salah vice versa? They're there. They just get there and they just score. I just think it's there. I think Chris Wood is.
So what you're saying, Maxi's going to Liverpool?
No, I'm saying Salah Mane come to Newcastle. I've no complaints with that. I saw him get flack for when he put
Bruno through. He should have put it through a split, because I watched it again today. Because I remember thinking, should he have played it a little bit earlier? And there was just that second where it's like, should have given it, but he took that extra touch, then gave the pass.
When he gives the pass,
if you give it first time, the ball's rolling, as Bruno had to take the touch, then shoot a cross goal.
The only reason Bruno had to take the touch is because the pass is deflected.
But if you just played it first time, it wouldn't have got deflected.
I don't know. I think it's been harsh. He can't legislate for a defender. I think he's two on the end of it.
But if he passed the first time, the defender wouldn't have got
passed the first time, there'd been 40 touches earlier when he's in his own half.
You know what I mean, man.
No, I get what you're saying, but I think people have been harsh on him. I think he's done most things right there. He's got a bit unlucky with that, and then Bruno's had to dig it out. And even if Bruno squeezes it in, everyone's saying, Maxi, that was class. Because remember, the ball gets pinged into Chris Wood, and he's basically as deep as like Kraft is, and he motors around Chris Wood to get up to make that counter attack. So, got to get some credit for where it's due here.
I was actually going to say, I think some of the ratings I've seen from Maxi are a little bit harsh.
Outrageous, man.
Some freaking Chronicle give Bruno a 10 out of 10, which he was good, but he didn't want a 10 out of 10 performance. The rest of the team all got 7.5 to 9s. And then Maxi came in at 6.1. There's no way he was 1.5 below everybody else. They're just looking for freaking clickbait. Yeah.
I mean, what do you? So what do fans want instead? Do you want Miggy and Murphy there? That's what, do you know what I mean? I don't understand. I get annoyed about this, because I'm like, what do you want if you're a Newcastle fan? If you complain, or a flamboyant player who can go past anybody, and can be frustrating at times, but also, if Miggy gets that ball passed through to him the same way Maxi does, he isn't putting Bruno through, because he's running 40 yards up the pitch. He's checking back, coming back inside, popping it off, and then we're rebuilding and we're slowly starting it. And Murphy might do the odd chip. I'll just put it in the net, man. But there's nobody else that is doing that. I mean, John just he's miles behind. But do you know what I mean? My frustration is, what do you want from a player? You want to the same fans who hounded Ben Arfa off the pitch, but then now I'll go back and say, Ben Arfa is great when you got so money. You can't have a best of both worlds. You've got to have some talent on the pitch to win the games of football. So that's my argument, is that you've got to take that rough with the smooth that comes with Maxi. There's going to be times where he might go 6-7 games with just frustrating you, but he might win 3 games on his Todd.
I think Maxi now, and look,
it's a bit of a rant, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know, man. I don't know if I should give you a minute to go and cool down. You want to go outside and get some fresh air and come back in? I'll handle this for 2 minutes. Do you want another can? Are you all right?
Nah,
there's some whiskey back there for
you. I'm a Maxi fan, but
Ali Maxman, I would definitely not sell him. I'm not part of the sell Maxi for 50 million. I think that's absolutely fucking ridiculous. But I do think there's some coaching that can be given to him to be part of the team. I do think that Bruno, and especially what Joe Linton's become now in midfield, allows him a bit more creativity. Where Maxi really got us caught out was when we didn't have that solid midfield. Because I think a lot of teams that have flair players have to have them better midfield players to allow for someone that's not going to track back. Do you know what I mean?
And Henderson tucks in at right back because Trent's doing what he wants.
Oh yeah, but then if Trent gets 20 assists a season, then Henderson learned to play fucking right back. Do you know what I mean? At the drop of a hat.
I know. There's also a quick point on that as well. I agree with you entirely, but also, the rest of the players are playing a bit better now. No one was complaining when everyone else was shit, and Max was the only person that could hit a barn door with a banjo. Do you know what I mean? No one else could play football for Newcastle.
There's a point I've got where towards the last 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, definitely the latter part of the game, where Maxi was being left up top.
Yeah.
Because you've mentioned this before, where he's the one person that can carry the ball and relieve pressure, where someone else like a Wood kind of like take the ball down and run 30, 40 yards and relieve the pressure. Wood dropped in and was playing left midfield at one point.
I know.
I thought like that's class how all other players are willing to chip in and just do what it takes, because they probably or they will understand and appreciate his role and what he does.
It also has happened with Callum Wilson before that as well, by the way. Callum Wilson has dropped in deep out, and later in games when we've been hanging on a bit, and Maxi has played the furthest forward. Only for like 5 minutes in games, but I've noticed it before, so it's not totally new to Newcastle. This, but Maxi's been given the outlet. There's also a quick point on the goal scored. It's his little back heel into Joe Linton that allows Joe Linton to have the space to release Chris Wood. Just saying, give him credit where it's due.
All right, okay, right. Well, so agreeing we keep Maxi, you're not selling him.
I agree. Do you know what it is? What I find most baffling is that the only real frustration is the off the ball stuff. That's what you can get actually frustrated at, because you can press, you can run around more and press, and I think he's getting better at that. But that would be the one thing I would find that is a criticism that is fair to be level at him. But I don't think the fact that when you have a player that is naturally good at dribbling with the ball, creating things out of nothing, you can't complain him when he dribbles with the ball and tries to create things out of nothing.
Well, my only other complaint with Maxi has been the press.
Yeah, exactly. Off the ball
stuff. Yeah.
Anyway,
another player I'd like to talk about, which I didn't think I'd be saying this.
I think I know you're going to say.
I'm going to go to the right back position.
Yeah.
Because we both had Manquillo down to play this game. I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. But Emil Crafty must be getting like one-on-one right back classes with like Kiri and Trippier, I think. But he looked decent.
I think it's going to be like Scooby Doo. He's going to Mr. Trippier. Yeah, he's actually been super solid, and he's just decent on the ball. You're not seeing any double drag backs like you have been on international duty, like. But
he's not getting no viral
Zidane turns.
That's it.
But since that Zidane turn, he's like, whoa, actually I can play football, me. But no, I think he's been
Swedish Cafu or something.
Swedish Cafu. I think he's been solid. I've often been like furious when we've played him over Manquillo, because I've never understood, because I've always thought Manquillo, without doing anything really special, has been pretty solid for Newcastle. But in actual fact, when you see Manquillo's name now, I'm not as upset. I think he's just gone about his stuff really quietly, and probably a solid 7 out of 10, which for a right back in our team is
phenomenal.
Matt Targett, on the other hand, though, he's absolute quality. Him, like, got to make that permanent. By the way, 15 million. Yeah, I'll be chucking that.
If you're an Aston Villa fan, would you not be looking at Steven Gerrard and say, "Hang on, you got rid of him and spend big on
Digne"?
But
it was Rafa. Rafa did that, didn't he? No, was it? No, Rafa. Rafa Sultan, sorry.
That's right. Look, everyone's grateful for what Rafa's done at Everton, but like, I don't think he could manage to do that part. Like, get all of the bank transfers going on. But
was that not pre-Gerrard? Was that not pre-Gerrard, or the
Gerrard? No, Gerrard bought him in.
But Gerrard bought,
because he was part of the transfer, wasn't he? Because he brought Coutinho in. And then,
oh yeah, that's right. I did bring Coutinho as well. Yeah.
And then we got Target on deadline day, wasn't it? Because that was the quiet one, which just came from nowhere all of a sudden.
I've absolutely. I would have said beforehand, would have preferred Digne? Actually, I probably wouldn't have preferred Digne, because Digne is really good going forward, but we need somebody solid defensively, because that left hand side has been leaking goals under Richie. So
I would have brought Digne in because he fell out with Rafa for whatever reason, to the point where he wasn't getting a game purely on the fact he fell out with. We know what Rafa's like as a person, as a coach, which seems like a genuinely good bloke. So how would you fall out with Rafa?
But also he will.
But then we need team spirit. So if you've got characters that are so willing to fall out with people and not do what the coach wants you to do for the sake of playing, you don't want them type of players in your club, I don't think.
Yeah, I just think we want somebody solid, and like, I'm not sure Digne is particularly solid defensively, although he's got class going forward. But in terms of target, in terms of paying the money, I'd be like, look, Matt Ritchie, he has 15 million in cash. Take it. Don't come back, right? Drop that off at Villa.
Any player in the Premier League where if you're a permanent position, if that's you're the starting right back, left back, centre, any position now in the Premier League for 20 million is a bargain.
Yeah, absolute steal. And he's so solid and he's so comfortable. He gives us natural balance. He's not like to hump up the line like Dummett has been. He does make overlapping runs. He can make genuine like what do they call them again now with the when they get back in the sort of counter-attacking defensive runs.
Okay.
He can actually make those runs without us being like so exposed. He's got pace. He's great to tackle one-on-one. He's an absolute steal for 50 for like 15 million. If that's what's been talked about, 20 million. Like
when you look at the work that Newcastle's done in that transfer window, it's absolute magic.
It is
based on how much money we've spent. Like we've got a starting left back, starting right back, starting centre half for 45 million if you average them all at 15 million, whatever it is.
What are Europe's best centre midfielders in Bruno, like.
But just look at the defence, 45 million for three starting defenders in the Premier League. What was Harry Maguire?
It's mad that like, it is nuts. Like, you're right. Like it is some really shrewd business, and if that's how they're going to operate a transfer market and going to pick up bargains, it bodes well for the future because it means they're not just going to hide cash around and bring the next like Robinho in or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like so yeah. I totally agree with you. And also, it's like sensible signings. Like we really need a right back. We really need a left back.
Yeah.
And we really need centre half. And it's given us total natural balance in terms of like a left-footed centre half. It's like a shrewd signing and Dan Burn. Like, so and it was good to see him have a good game again.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty solid. He didn't really have much to do, really, did he?
Nah, not really.
But all in all, like. Other than the Fabio Silva header and his shot, like there was not really that much for Dubravka to do. Anybody else gets a shout? Really in performance?
Nah, I think everyone else, like you said, just did the jobs. Like I think the standout ones for me was Bruno. I think the first half he was an average performance, but the second half overall, I think he was brilliant.
Got some stats from him. So he had 100% dribble rate, Bruno. 90% pass accuracy, which was 41 passes attempted, 37 completed.
That's mad, that, isn't it?
He made 4 tackles. He won 12 duels, which was the most in the game. He won 7 possessions back. He won 5 fouls, which is the most in the game. He made 3 clearances and 1 interception. That's a pretty solid all-round performance. You can't drop him now for me.
Nah, he's undroppable. He is the team is going to be built around him. Unless we go out and pull out like a worldie in the summer, which I know you want to talk about after we discuss Leicester. Like he's the first name down. Like he's going to be built.
He really is. Like
the team's going to be built on him for the next 1 or 2 seasons, unless, like I said, we pull another marquee signing out of somewhere. But yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out. I know there's been loads and loads of love going on for Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
The results where he took over in Christmas, obviously before Christmas, we were bottom of the league and hadn't won a game, and it was all doom and gloom, and no team had ever not won a game in the first however many games it was. So yeah, he's done an amazing job. But I also want to hone in on one thing, is like the defensive unit which Eddie Howe has put together. Because I think a lot of us as Newcastle fans, you might want to admit, you might not, or let us know in the comments, like, what did you think after that very first game? I know Eddie Howe had Cobra Boy, where we played Brentford and
3-3.
The 3-3, and was like, oh, it's classic Eddie Howe, his first game in charge, 3-3. Like, we might concede 3, but we'll try and score 4.
Yeah.
And then the systems and the structure he's brought in, like, defensively was sound.
I think it probably shows him as a coach in his own development as a coach. Probably shows him as like somebody who is operating at the elite level of his profession, which is obviously being a football coach, because he's had this struggle with Bournemouth to keep consistent clean sheets and not concede lots of goals. So then he's left Bournemouth and he's gone round the world and sat and gone to some like really sort of coaches that don't concede, like, you know, as famously he's gone to for 2 weeks with Simeone, whatever, and watch Simeone coach and how he runs drills and how he sets his teams up. So Simeone, who is basically won La Liga and got a Champions League final off just like basically scoring one and then just letting nobody have any chances ever again in the game. So like, yeah, I think that's testament to him and his own personal development as a coach. So yeah, absolutely, I think he's been awesome because actually we looked defensive. We looked really. I know that Wolves didn't really create anything really. I was actually watching a Wolves podcast. Not their reaction. I wanted to see what they thought of the game, and they were really disappointed how deep they were, how little the threat they offered going forward, which I think goes hand in hand with how Newcastle played. But still, like they were poor.
I think all of us as Newcastle fans were probably a little bit underwhelmed by what Wolves brought.
Yeah,
I think we all thought there was going to. We spoke this last week. We said there's going to be Wolves are a good team. You don't get to be challenging for you being in position without being able to attack.
Yeah, because there was this there seemed to be this conception on Twitter that Newcastle was a given, that Newcastle would win because we're back at home.
Yeah, but I didn't agree with that.
But in actual fact, it turned out to be fair sort of that way. But I think that's it. I think all in all, like it's good to be back home. Good 3 points. Safe. I think I think we could say pretty comfortably we can start planning for next season because I think we're safe. Obviously Burnley losing at Norwich was that's probably their nail in the coffin. I would say for them, like,
yeah, I don't think that against something else I mentioned on Twitter, I can't see the bottom three changing. Like, no. As much as I'd love to see Everton go down, it's 4 points between them two. Like, that's the only way I can see maybe a twist. But
they've got a couple of shocking games as well, haven't they?
Yeah,
Everton. They've just got Anfield coming up soon as well. So
Leicester.
Yeah.
Looking ahead to Sunday, so we're a 2:15 kickoff.
Yeah. I'm there actually this weekend, which is nice. Don't know. Just don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I had tickets, but unfortunately an Easter family break where my life won't be worth living unless I go to this one. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So I had to give the tickets away.
I think, I don't know, but I'm not sure which way to call this. I'm less confident, I would think. I think I'm less confident as I was going into the Wolves game. And I think it's because you just don't really know what Leicester are going to show.
We said this last time, because we did another pod alongside this one, a full Premier League one. And we said this when we played them at their gaff. You don't know what Leicester you're going to get.
Yeah.
Granted, we had some absolute howlers and there was a penalty decision.
Yeah, it was a dive.
We got absolutely battered by them.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think they use that as some fuel to say, look, it's time to sort of like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get that. Yeah, I think we were poor that day, weren't we? And I think obviously Newcastle are a totally different proposition now, defensively, structurally. Joe Linton in the middle of the park. I think he probably just sticks with the same 3 in the middle of the park for me.
Yeah. So if you look at the starting 11, the only positions which I agree with you is only going to come into contests maybe right back and who he plays as the right wing off.
I don't think right back comes at I think
Kraft.
I think you can't. He's not going to drop Kraft after the first win in 4 and Kraft playing well, and really defensively the unit performed really solidly. So I would be surprised. Although I've always said I think Manquillo offers a little bit more going forward, and I think he's always been pretty solid. Eddie Howe's proof he doesn't like to drop or change a winning team. Mm-hmm. Obviously Fraser, it'll be interesting to see what he does in terms of whether he goes Murphy or Mickey over Fraser. That'll probably be the one interesting. I think other than that, I think Willock probably starts on the bench again.
Yeah. So I agree. I think he's going to go Kraft, and I think you'd probably end up playing Miggy based on the fact he had more with the minutes he put in. He was part of the winning team. So I'd personally go Murphy, but I think he'll go Miggy.
I think I'd like to see us go Murphy as well, because I think it offers a bit more of a threat going forward. And we're at home, and Leicester are get at the ball essentially. They can score goals. They have got goals in them, but also
They have to put someone on Madison, aren't they?
yeah, he's Big Joe in it. No, I think Madison's always seems to play well against us. Always seems to score.
He's a player in form as well.
Dewsbury Hall's in form as well. In fact, that sort of midfield three of Tielemans, Dewsbury Hall, and Tielemans has probably played far better than he's playing now, because obviously he's looking for a move, isn't he? But yeah, that midfield three is where that makes them tick.
But I've also got Leicester really haven't got anything to play for.
More than 9th in the league, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
winnable game, definitely winnable game, 100%.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left, mate. We've got Leicester at home. We've got Palace at home, Norwich away, Liverpool at home, City, Arsenal, and Burnley. So I want to challenge you to points and see who can come in the closest to the end of the season.
All right, sound. Right.
So here we go. Let us know in the comments as well. How many points are we going to finish on? How many points are we going to finish on between now and the end of the season? So
Leicester and Palace, aren't we?
yeah, so I've got Leicester. I've gone for a draw, 1 point.
I'm going for a 3-point home win.
So you're going 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Palace, I've put us down for 3 points.
I've got to go draw Palace. You're
going to draw? Okay.
Yeah.
Norwich away?
3 points.
3 points. Liverpool home. I've gone for a loss there. You going nothing?
Yeah.
City away? I'm going 0.
Nothing, yeah.
Arsenal home?
Arsenal home.
I've gone for 1 point.
Partey's out for the season.
Is he?
Yeah, Partey's out for the season. Tierney. They might be done in the top 4, them.
By then they could be.
I'm going to go for a home win.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going home win. I'm going Arsenal. I'm going home win.
And Burnley away? I'm going home win because they'll be done.
3 points as well, yeah. Wow, I'm giving us points here.
3, 6, 9, 12.
We're finishing fucking 6th here.
13. So I've gone for 11 points. You've gone for 13 points.
13 points.
Which you have us finishing on 47 points. I have us finishing on 45 points. And the point I wanted to bring in next is, now we're safe, where can we finish? Because we're only 1 win away from being 10th.
Yeah, I think we'll finish about 11th or 10th or around that mark. I saw somebody's end of the season stuff. It was like somebody really pessimistic, and he had like Norwich doubling their points tally between like now and the end of the season.
But he'd obviously done one of them predict the results and see what the table looks like. So he'd done it to alter the bottom 3, winning all their games. But like Man United had dropped and lost about 6 on the bounce or something.
He had
Burnley in 11th.
The one for me was he had in 7 games left. He had City and Liverpool only picking up 23 points between them in those 7 games. Yeah, they'll both win all those games.
He was obviously just doing that for some sort of clickbait, or he's just anyway. We won't go.
But yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I had us finish on the same points, but it's not. I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility to say that Eddie Howe is going to generate 4 wins in his last 8, considering he's went 9 unbeaten. We've been robbed at Chelsea. We've narrowly lost at Everton. We've got battled off a team that probably would should beat us because we've got better players. And now we've got a couple of home games that are potentially winnable. We've got 2 away games against absolute shiters in Burnley and Norwich. Will both be down by then. I would be amazed if Burnley got anything to play for last game of the seain. Although there's an argument to say if Everton could go down, Newcastle would still finish mid-table. Should we just throw that one, do we?
Yeah, put the kids on.
yeah. Take share straight off free kicks. Don't let them flying in, mate. So Arsenal's obviously the one I've gone a bit ballsy on, but
still, look, if we pick up 10 points, we're finishing on like 40 odd points, like 40, 44, 45 points. Like, what an absolute turnaround that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's like early 47, we'll finish like 42, 43 points. That'll be like 7 or 8 points beyond relegation zone now.
Yeah,
because you're surviving this season on 34, 35 points, aren't you? Really?
I agree. Yeah, 100%. So 34, I think, is going to be like the safe zone, and that's been very optimistic if Burnley can win 3 games and draw one for the next 8. Which...
I mean, Everton's running is still absolutely awful. Because they've beaten a terrible Man United side doesn't mean they're anywhere near safety, because I don't think that's as easy as that.
Well, look, this question could lead us into what we can end the pod on. We've got a couple of questions. So we've agreed that Newcastle's safe. I think hopefully, by this absolute lunatic on Twitter who thinks we still could get relegated if all the bottom 3 win all their games. We're safe. One of our regular listeners and friend of the channel, Ronnie, asked us who we would who would we be signing. I'll be honest, I couldn't think ahead to that point there. I haven't let myself go that far just yet, but I know you.
Well, I guess. Well, the broader question is, where would you sign for then?
Okay.
So that's kind of what I haven't gone into who I'd sign. I've just given it a broad brush. 2 players I would look at, because I think certainly ASM would be starting in my starting 11 next season at left wing. Imagining Callum Wilson or somebody's up top.
Are you keeping the same formation 4-3-3?
Yeah, I think it's the best formation to play. I think the 3 in midfield that is just balance wise gives you the best formation. I think just broadly speaking in football, I prefer it. Me. I think you want somebody who can play that right hand side. You want an improvement on like as good as Fraser has been. I think we need an improvement in that area.
Fraser's been great for. I know we talk about this in the other pod as well. We almost put players in like that's the levels of Fraser's maybe like a 16 to 12 club. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not quite relegation, or arguably.
It was relegated with
the first
Bournemouth, wasn't he?
Yeah, the previous in his career was, but what he's done with Eddie over the past 3 or 4 months, he's proven he can play at the high level. So if you're going to be 16 to 12, you can kind of fall there. But if you're looking to go high, you do need to improve that position.
And also, if you're going to be a side that tries to have cup runs and actually plays more than just 40 games a season, the 2 cup games they get knocked out on.
A 30-year Prem.
Yeah. So I would now the latter of this is probably a bit ambitious, but Pedro Neto will be a person I'll be looking at to play in that forward, because he can play anywhere across the front 3. And Wolves would be somebody you'd be looking to challenge with, I think, next season. Like arguably, like they're not going to finish in the top 6. I don't think they're going to drop out. So if you're out of there, then that's where we're looking at challenge to. I think is a club. I would absolutely love Jared Bourne, but I think it'd be too soon to be really competing with those kind of players. But those players of that ilk who can.
But bear in mind, West Ham they were quite favourable odds to get relegated this season. They're like massively overperformed, which I think people forgot about.
Yeah, well, only 2 seasons ago, you only hung on to the Premier League status by like skin of their teeth, didn't they? So centre forward, I think it's a no-brainer. You've got to play centre forward. Callum Wilson, as much as we all love him, and I think we all think he's quality, injury prone and just clearly too injury prone. And Chris Wood, as good as he has been, isn't going to take you to the next level. Centre back would be an obvious one as well, to go alongside, to be challenging either Dan Burn or Shaw for a start. I'd probably go alongside Dan Burn, I would think, for now. But and then obviously there's another argument who you're shipping out. And then the question is, what do you do with Bruno? For me, that's the big question, the transfer. Because if you see Bruno's replacing John Joe Shelvey, then you
I don't think he will, you know.
So again, if that's the case, if Shelvey's going to be starting, or if even if it's not Shelvey, so there's 2 facets of this. If you're thinking Bruno's going to be number 8, and you think, you know what, actually we can make this guy into a midfielder who does a bit of everything. Can get an assist, will get a few goals, but also can do the defensive work, so classic number 8, then you should spend the big money on a centre forward and upgrading John O'Shelvey in a deeper role. if you're going to replace John Joe Shelby with Bruno, then I'd like somebody to improve Willock to sit alongside Joe Linton in the number 8.
Yeah, it's fair. So I think I've got 5 positions.
Right, okay.
So first of all, I think goalkeeper.
Yeah, and also that was another thing in my head, but I don't know. It's down the list for me.
So if you want to put me in rank order, I think that we need a centre forward. Because if we're gonna, I think our defence has got to shoot up to be a mid-table team. But again, look at Brighton. Like when they weren't conceding goals and they were drawn too many games, eventually you do have that rot where you do go on a bit of a run and conceding, so they just didn't score. I think centre forward's got to be, if we can find someone that can get 20 goals a season,
consistently stay fit, yeah.
Like that's a game changer.
It's what, like 15 points straight out on your total.
Yeah.
Like.
So I think centre forward. I think another centre mid. I've also got right wing down as well.
So your centre mid. So what is your centre mid then?
So my centre mid takes over Shelby.
So you're playing Bruno in the number 8.
Yeah, okay. I think him and Joe Linton are number 8. I think Willock will be an impact sub. That as much as I think Willock's been massively improved, I don't think he's a starting 11 top 10 side.
I don't mind him being an impact player and a squad player, by the way. And he's still good enough to play 30 games a season off the bench, start 10 of them.
Off the bench, yeah.
Like start a few of them as well. I don't mind. Like I think he's for a squad player. I think it's absolutely fine. That so you're replacing John Joe Shelby.
Yeah. So I'm going centre forward's the first, centre mid is second, and then these 3 is kind of, it just depends who's available. I've got right wing, goalkeeper, and centre mid.
We're all going the same places except I mean goalkeeper is it? Yeah, I totally agree.
I love Dubravka, but he's a 16 to 12 Premier League team. That's that sort of side. You know when Krul kind of dropped down his level, and if Dubravka went and played for a team that did a bit of yo-yo on for a season or two, that's his.
Maybe a bit harsh on him, but no, I do agree with you, because I think if you look at, not that I'm comparing us to like a Liverpool or Man City, but once they put their goalkeeper, like their top echelon goalkeeper, that was like worth like 30 points a season. Yeah. Like Liverpool, the change of getting Van Dijk and Alisson into that Liverpool side, they were suddenly the best team in the world.
Going back to like Schmeichel and Peter Cech and like Petr Cech and all that.
Yeah. Van der Sar when mine at the same time.
So yeah, Ronnie, I hope that answers your question, and anyone else whose thoughts who are. Maybe you got players who you'd want to sign, positions who you think, or positions where you think we need to strengthen.
Yeah.
Let us know what your thoughts are. Jans, any thoughts you want to bring up?
No, that's it. Good. Nice to do a 1-on-a win.
Yes, I know. Yeah, so 3 points, and then going into next week, Leicester. I'm saying 1 point. You're saying 3.
Yeah, I'm saying we'll win.
Which is what we said for Wolves. So hopefully you're right. I'm wrong, and we picked up 3 points. So. Yeah, thank you very much for downloading. If you listen on Spotify, thank you very much. If you're on YouTube, make sure you smash the subscribe button, like, share, drop us a comment, let us know what you're thinking, and we'll catch you next week on the channel. And remember, you can catch us for more banter on Twitter every single day as well.